Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are going to give it a few seconds to wait for all of you lovely people to join in. It is Be a Friend Friday. It's the first Friday of March. It's a beautiful day outside, and I hope you guys are all having a great, great day wherever you are. We've got a really, really special episode today of Be a Friend Friday. For those of you who don't know, we have our series Be a Friend Friday that's all about sharing real stories about people who are living with diabetes. And today I'm so happy to introduce my dad. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dana. I'm the social media manager here at the ADA, and I'm so excited to welcome my dad, Mamoon Max Najib, who has been living with type 2 diabetes for over 35 years. He is the reason why I took this job and why the inspiration behind everything for me. And I'm so excited that he's here today to join us and tell us a little bit about his story. So, do you want to say hi?
Hi, good morning, and thank you so much to ADA for giving me this opportunity to share my journey for the diabetes trip and tell them about how I changed my enemy to a friend who is I have to live with it for the rest of my life. And in the first, I've been here most of my life. I was taking things for granted, and this is how we started. For 15 years in my life, I've been having itchy toes and itchy legs and sensations in my legs. And every time I go to a doctor's, they tell me maybe you have fungus, maybe you have a rash, but they never thought, because I was too young and age 35, to say maybe you have a diabetes. 15 years later, by mistake, I went to the hospital in an emergency procedure, and they find my A1C was 9. They said, "Oh my God, you are a diabetic." And I looked at them and I said, "What do you mean?" They said, "You have a diabetes." I didn't know anything about diabetes before, except you have problem with the sugar in your body, but nothing else I know. So I start my homework and I start the journey with a friend. I never get rid of it, and I have no choice except one of two things. Or I will be a friend with him and keep going as this is part of my life, or I'll be the enemy and he's my enemy, and then every day I have to worry, and in the same time I have to take whatever it comes out of this disease. The funny part is this disease is always meant for the people who love to eat, and they love sweets, and they love the glamour of the taste of the sweets. So all of a sudden I start doing my homework to say, well, where how am I going to live for the rest of my life? It was very difficult in the beginning, but I find out the best way for me is to find a way to make him he is my friend instead of he's my enemy. And I start that with my diabetes, and start working first is on my educations about this disease. I start learning more. I start going to the doctors, and then the doctors give me the medication, and I ask questions. This medication, what it does to the body, what it does to the diabetes, and this medication combination, is it will be suitable for each other, or it will not help. Some of the medications, it will kill the other So I will lose because I have a heart problem too, and I have high blood pressure, high cholesterol. So I have to make sure my medication doesn't uh, uh, conjust with each other, or they are attacking each other, and then I lose. I make diabetes, then I lose in the cholesterol, or I fix the diabetes, then I have no control over the heart problem. So I did my homework, and then I start asking questions. What's A1C? What is the blood test in the morning? What it does? What do I know about it? And if I know it, what is good? What's bad? And I did my homework to learn about this in and out of diabetes. When you know your enemy and you know their capacities, then you know and you have a knowledge enough how to attack that enemy. But if you don't have any clue what's going on, your enemy is stronger than you and he's attacking you, and you are not prepared for this enemy to fight him. So the best way is knowing your enemy. So you have to know the disease in and out. Then there is something else. It's a lot of my friends, doctors, advise me saying medication is not enough. What's enough is take medications and listen to your body. Your body always giving you signal how they feel, what they feel. If you start studying your body beside your medications, then you will understand your body is telling you something, just listen to it. Medication is not enough because your body advice is this: you are tired, relax. You are hungry, eat. You are thirsty, drink. You are sleepy. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter who is you are with. Just do whatever your body is telling you and say, I'm sorry, but I have to get some rest. I'm sorry, I cannot eat this. I cannot drink that. If you don't do that, then you are given an opportunity to the diabetes to attack you in any time. We all know the attack is not easy stuff because it doesn't comes and goes like you have a headache. Attack of diabetes, it will leave big scarf in your life and on your body. So you don't want really that disease to attack you. You need to know your body and you need to notice what's going on. That itchy feet, what I used to have for 15 years, the minute I start on my medication and I did my homework, and all of a sudden I don't have it anymore. For 15 years, I've been suffering and I didn't know what is the reason. When I start my medication, then I start knowing, oh, my feet is better. Why? And then I connect the dots. Then I find it's very easy because my body was telling me, you are eating too much sugar, you are eating too much fat, you are this, you are that. And I was young, I didn't know I should stop that stuff. So you need to adjust all your lifestyle through this disease in order for that disease to be a enemy friends instead of enemy attack, and enemy who you are going to fight it every single day. From my background, since I came from Syria in the Middle East, we have a culture always said, if you come to my house, you have to eat. If you come to my house, you have always a feast. Even if you ate lunch, when you come to me in lunchtime, I have to feed you lunch again. If you eat dinners and you came to my house in the evenings, you have to eat again. So I learned to break that rule since I'm in the United States of America. So I am breaking the rules of the cultures, saying, hold on, hold on, hold on. I really cannot. I ate lunch already. I cannot eat this particular item because it will raise my blood sugar. I cannot eat that one there because it's changing the thinning of the blood thinners in my body. This, that. So I became big and choosy, not because I don't want to. I love to eat baklava. I love to eat all kind of sweets. We are the most famous sweet makers in the whole world. But in the same time, I cannot kill myself by saying, "Oh, it tastes good, so okay, tomorrow I will start," or "Oh, I will eat it today, and then I will increase my medications." I'm not a doctor. My body doesn't take it just like one day up, one day down, one day up, one day down. I am risking myself. So the best way is you start, pick and choose. This is for me. This is not for me. And when you say this is not for me, it means really is not on your dictionary. You take it out of your dictionary, no matter where you are, no matter what you do, and no matter who's gonna upset or who's gonna be happy. You have to say, including to your mother-in-law, you have to say no. So even to your mother-in-law, you have to say to her, no, I cannot eat this. So I start making myself a plan. I went from 220 pounds to 170 pounds and start maintaining that 170 pounds by maintaining the sugar and the fat in my body, because both of them is related. In the same time I start feeling better, my body is start adjusting as there is not too much sugar. I love the sweets, but I it's not for me. It's a lot of people, they love the flowers, but at the same time they are allergic to flowers. So what they do, they sniff these flowers and then they will say, "I'll go to the hospital and tomorrow I won't." No, they don't. So it's not by choice. You have to adjust your lifestyle in order for you
Sorry, guys. Very.
to
Yeah.
maintain this disease as a friend is not as an enemy. In the same time, you really need to be prepared. An example: if you want to go hiking, you have to take with you the gear for walking and water and all that stuff. If you want to go swimming, you take with you a lot of stuff also to the beach and that stuff. With the diabetes person, he has always to make sure when I go in the car, I have a little bit orange juice. I have water, a lot of water in my car, in a little bag, little water, a little juice. I have a little crackers. I have little sweet crackers. I have a couple candies. So all this stuff, and then I have my medication always with me. When you are prepared for this, because sometimes you have a special attack, you have to be prepared. What should I do? A lot of people, because of the knowledge they don't ask questions, they end up in the hospitals with severe reaction because they are not prepared. As it could happen to me, not just when I'm in the house, it could happen to me when I'm driving, it could happen to me when I'm at work, it could happen to me when I'm in the recreation centers or anywhere. So I need to live with it, and I have to be prepared for this kind of things. Let's go back to the Middle Eastern food. The Middle Eastern food is very healthy because there is no frozen food in it. It's all fresh and no frozen stuff, no artificial stuff. So it's very healthy for the people who is having diabetes. If you stay away from the sugar and from the sweets, including the shish kebab when you eat. It's a lot of people, they love the shish kebab when it has a lot of juicy and fats around it. That's not good. You have to start learning as this is not for me. So you need to stay away from the fat and from the sugar. You need to understand when you are really taking care of the diabetes in correct way, you are not just taking care of the disease and avoid it. You are really getting healthy for the rest of your life because you are killing two birds in one stone. You take care of the diabetes, but in the same time, your cholesterol is less, your blood pressure is less, you don't have weight and extra weight on your legs, so you take care of your knees. You take care of all your body because you take care of one thing improperly. But majority what I noticed with all the friends who has diabetes, or they are older, like me. I mean, I'm 70 years old, so it's not like a little young, but
He just
I
he just turned 70.
right. So 70 years old, you have to learn something in your life. So every time I say to somebody, I'm a diabetic, and they will say, "Oh, me too," and I will say, "Okay, how much your A1C?" And he say, "What's that?" He went to internist. Internist did the blood work, just the regular blood work testing, and he find it he has like 105, and you will tell him, "Oh, you need some kind of prescriptions, and you are okay. Just be careful. You are on the border." And the patient did never, or my friends never asked, "What's about A1C? Can you please check my A1C?" If you don't ask the doctor, he's not gonna, because if you don't tell him what's your problem, he's not gonna create a problem. So you need to tell him the problem, and show some knowledge, as explain to me what's the A1C, and tell me how much it's supposed to be. And I have one of the friends, he is like, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm taking the medications, and everything's stable." And I say, "How much your A1C?" He said, "I don't know." So we looked at his chart, and we find his A1C 9. And I say, "Oh my God, you are in time bomb." And he said, "No, no, no. The doctor said I'm stable." And I said, "No, you need to get it under 6, as you are a pre-diabetic. But if you are over 6, you are in danger. So you need to talk to your doctors." And then he went to his doctors. He put him in different medications, adding medications, and the guy start feeling better. He doesn't have no dizziness, no fatigue, and that stuff. And then when they come back to me, they said, "Now I am on like 7," and I said, "Keep going." So this knowledge is very, very important to have. It's not enough to get diagnosis. You have to have some knowledge about what is this all about.
That was great, Dad. Okay, we're getting a lot of comments in the comment section. People are saying that it's very important for you to ask questions to your doctor. It's important to know what diabetes is, the ins and the outs, and to listen to your body. So all of these things, and great feedback from everyone in the audience, and we're so glad that you're benefiting from this. So for those of you who don't know, it is National Nutrition Month, and this month the theme is personalize your plate, which means based on the cultural background that you come from, or maybe it's your upbringing, whatever it is, use that experience, that cultural background to personalize your plate to your liking, and having the opportunity to still enjoy food while maintaining and managing your diabetes. So that being said, I have a question for you. Since you have a family, and for those of you who just joined, this is my dad. How did grocery shopping for the family change after you were diagnosed? What did you look out for things differently? Did you? My dad used to make us write essays when we were little about diabetes because he wanted to make sure we knew what it was, the ins and the outs, and even if we didn't understand it, at least we would know the terminology, so that way when we're older, we're able to pinpoint the terms and understand, okay, this is diabetes, this is what my dad is going through, this is what I should watch out for so I don't get diabetes. So how did grocery shopping change?
As a matter of fact, my dad also has diabetes, and I didn't know I should, because of lack of my knowledge. I didn't know I might have it too, and my brothers and my sisters. So when I get diagnosed and I have in this trouble, and I start having kids, now I decide, okay, I don't want them to have it, and if they want to have it, let them have it at least in late stage of their lives. So when I start going shopping, I start looking like, if that's not good for me, it's not good for them. There's a lot of stuff. It has a lot of sugars, a lot of fats, a lot of I don't want to describe the bad stuff because you know it. But in that case, I need to train them to like stuff. It has very good nutrition in order for them to like it. At certain items, it's not in our book at all, and we don't bring it at all. So sometimes I'm shopping with my son or with my daughter, And then they would say, "Oh, I like this, that," and I would say, "I'm sorry, this is not for us. No, I don't like it. No, this is junk."
Like we cut out soda. We
Right,
cut out
right.
soda from our household for
This
years.
sodas is not allowed in the house. Sometime the little one, he insists, like, just when I'm outside, like in one of the restaurants we are eating, I would say one drink because your refills is there. So it's really it's very important not to say, okay, you are eat this, but be careful, you might have a diabetes. No, just take it off their books, as this is not good. So I always look at what is the natural and what is the ingredients in this items what I'm bringing home. In the same time, if I want to cook something in home, or my wife is going to start cooking something for us, is that something that will affect me and it will affect them in long term? Also, I consider the kind of meat I'm buying, the kind of vegetables I'm buying, from where I'm buying, all that stuff. It's not because of the disease alone, it's just because I have to not feel that disease is taking my life away and taking my joy away. I have to find different alternatives in order for me to survive and be happy in the same time, not let a little disease like that to be an enemy daily, worry about it. So if I would style of living and change it and stick with it, then I have a chance to feel I am healthy, and I am also planning for my family to be healthy. An example, in the Middle East, I don't know if you are familiar with the Middle Eastern food or not, but we have just appetizers alone without to put any meat in it. Over 40 items you can cook at home, or you can buy it from the restaurants, and you don't have to eat any meats in it. Just appetizers alone. And they all fresh. Nothing it comes frozen. So if you learn how to cook it, or how to prepare it, or how to buy it and from where, and it's good taste, you really saved yourself a lot of hassles of a meat if you are not allowed, or if you are vegetarians. This is an opportunity. And when you buy a meat, also when you have a meat is fresh and it's really drained blood, then it's healthier than it's just a meat who is soaking with blood, which is, you know it, I know it. I don't know where you buy your meat, but you need to look after the butcher who is really hanging this meat in order for that blood to drain, and it will be healthier when you eat it. No fat on it, you don't need it. No margarine. The more you concentrate on your food, the less you take your kids to a doctor's. The more you feed them healthy, the happier you are, and you did your homework and your duty towards your family. There is a lot of fun, and there is a lot of food you can enjoy without eating the fat stuff and the junk. But you need to do your homework first, then programming your kids and the household, as this is part of our lives. We don't want to cross it, because that's dangerous for me and for the rest of the kids, because I have a diabetes and they could be having it in the futures, and that's not fair. If I can prevent it, it will be much better. If I don't, then I didn't do my homework. But at least I did my homework and prevent longer years, or never they will get it if I did the right things. I never get an opportunity for my dad to sit with me and said, "This is, I am a diabetic and I died because of diabetic," but he never explained anything to me. When I came here, I don't know nothing about diabetes. That's why I suffered for 15 years without knowing, oh, I have a diabetes because I supposed to get it from my dad. And I used to love to have a coffee with 6 sugars in the small cup of coffee. If it's not that sweet, I cannot drink it. Now I put one Splenda or two Splendas, and I'm happy. And I test always, all the time. Test yourself after when you eat something. You will know it. I mean, I can assure you, the day I eat an extra sweets, I knew it. Less than 2 hours, my feet it start itchy, and the sign immediately it said, you blow it," and then I would say, I know, I did the wrong things today. My body is immediately give me a signal saying, you blow it today, so stay away from it again. Then I suffer for that day and next day. But I take things and said, no, 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 no more, no more. I blew it yesterday and I was suffering, no more. I don't do that very often, but we're still human. So sometimes we have no choice. But in the same time, you have to know your body and you have to know your disease and you have to adjust the style of living and your food nutrition. How you cannot let that disease take over your life.
So, I also want to mention that it's important to know the difference between type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. And for somebody like my dad, who back in the day didn't have access to such resources, it was much harder for him to differentiate between what is type 1, what is type 2, what do type people with type 1 need, what do people with type 2 need. And so, what's amazing about the world that we've evolved into is that we have an incredible amount of resources for people to visit, especially on the ADA website. If you go to diabetes.org, you'll find that there's a specific page all about diabetes, and it breaks down the difference between type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, gestational diabetes, all of which are super important. And I highly recommend, as a daughter and who learned from her father, I don't have diabetes, he does, but it almost feels like the whole family has it because we're living it with him and we're learning it from him. And so, um, I would highly recommend, making sure that your children are informed of what is type 1, what is type 2. And we're getting comments that are amazing from you guys saying how, some of our audience members go and they read the labels when they go grocery shopping. Some of them, they do their research before they go. Somebody else said, they view food as fuel, and that helps them make more healthy decisions when they're choosing what foods to eat and what foods to buy for the family. So we're running out of time, but I wanted to give the floor to my dad one last time. Do you have any advice, or not advice, but any closing remarks for everybody that's watching right now?
I can say one thing. I urge every person, including the people who doesn't have diabetes, when they go for blood test checkup, to ask, please, doctor, test me for A1C. A lot of people, they don't even know what it is. They think about cholesterol, they think about everything else, but they don't know what it is. But check your A1C. And I urge the people who has diabetes to ask their doctors every time they go there, please check my A1C. And when they come up with the result, ask them the numbers. Some doctors, it's different countries, different schools, because they comes from Europe or from here, so their percentage is different. Learn the American way, because the ADA, it gives you a lot of information, and that's it helped a lot to know the American schools, and you follow the American schools. In that case, you need to know the A1C all the time. Check your blood sugar every single day. When you go to a checkup every 2 3 months, check your A1C, and the same time make sure to make a list for yourself. The same way you are reading the labels, there is a list for yourself to say, this is not for me, this is not for me, this is not for me, and I can eat anything else, but not these items. Because if you don't do this differentiation from each other, then you are putting yourself for an episode you really don't want to see it. And good luck to all the people who is having diabetes. Just make him as a friend, don't make him as an enemy only. You sit and worry, do something about it. At the same time, thank you so much for the ADA to give me this opportunity to talk about my journey with this friend enemy, who is, I feel like, maybe I'm fortunate. That's why I'm 70, because I notice it and I take care of it, and I take care of everything else in my body, because I'm trying to be friend with this disease. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you all for watching. Please, please take care of yourselves. Be safe out there. COVID-19 is still around, so please visit our diabetes website, and you'll find the COVID-19 hub, where you'll find all things information about COVID-19, the vaccine, a COVID care package, and also be kind to one another. Take care of each other. The sun is out again. It's springtime. We're approaching springtime, and don't be hard on yourselves. Like my dad said, it's always important for you to just learn as you go, learn your body, ask questions, and take care of each other. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.